I'm out of range. I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Hello again, all this Eatmopie, and this is finally the tank comparison from Warlords of Draenor. I took all of the classes, I put all of their stats together, I tested them all thoroughly over the last couple of weeks, and this is the results and my opinions. Why do my opinions matter? Well, they really don't, but they do come from experience. I have been tanking in WoW for almost 10 years. I've played every class to max level and tanked pretty much everything there is to tank in the game that's worthwhile. Anyway, okay, we're going to start with the monk, and what this is a tank target dummy. It hits back, and it is, I can sit here and watch it all day because DPS run up and don't realize what's happening and kill themselves on it constantly. Probably 30 people have done that while I was doing this test, and it makes me smile every single time. Now, first of all, we're starting off with the Brewmaster Monk, and monks are fine. They're fine. Windwalkers aren't so fine because their self-healing is kind of poopy, but Brewmasters are absolutely fine. They just buffed them. They buffed their healing, they buffed Expel Harm, and they buffed Elusive Brew. It's now 45% dodge when you use it for as many seconds as stacks you had. So, really, they're fine. Now, they're not the best. Absolutely not the best, but they're absolutely fine. So, the way that this worked is I did 2-minute tests for every single class, and I will go through all the numbers, how much damage they take, how much healing they do, and how much damage they do. So at the end of the video, I will go through all the numbers, all the final DPS stats, what I think of each and every class, and I will tell you who the best tank in Warlords of Draenor is. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to make you sit here and watch 2 minutes straight of me attacking a target dummy, but I do want you to watch at least 20 or 30 seconds of each class so that you can understand how their rotation looks, how smooth they are, or not smooth they are, and their self-healing and self-survivability, because that's really what this test is about. I have done instances and all those other... I've done a lot. I haven't raided on any of these tanks yet, but I have done 5-mans on each class, several, in fact, and that's really where I form my opinions. This is just to give you a good idea in a fair and balanced environment. Okay, prop paladins. They're still kind of boring. They were doing a crazy amount of damage, and Blizzard just nerfed just annihilated their DPS, and it took them all the way down to the worst DPS of all the tanks, as far as I can tell. I haven't raided with them, so maybe they're going to be better that way, but single target, absolutely horrible. As far as survivability, they are okay. They're okay. Certainly not the best. Now, warriors, on the other hand, warriors absolutely are amazing right now. They are fun to play again. Yes. The rotation feels good. There's always something to do. And there's a lot of active mitigation. Now, in this test, I am only using shield barrier because I found that after doing this several times that shield barrier was much more effective on this target dummy than using shield block. That's just the bottom line. And I did use it once there just to use it, but for the most part, shield barrier is what I use as the warrior. So warriors are super strong, and I seriously considered making my warrior my main again. I played warrior all through vanilla, all through Wrath for the most part as my main. There was a few skips in between. I played the druid for a long time. But anyway, I really like the warrior. I really like what they did with the warrior. They feel good. The only downside is they wear plate, and I have a lot of plate wearing people in my guild that I raid with, so it's gonna slow down my gear progression. And also, I don't like that the gladiator stance can't be switched in and out of during combat. That's really it. But anyway, let's go blood DKs. Now, they nerfed them a little bit, but they're still super strong. Super strong. Their healing is really strong. They changed rune tap to be a shield that reduces damage by 50% rather than a heal, like it used to be. And they gave it 2 charges. But other than that, they're very similar. They removed a couple abilities, but still, DKs are DKs. They're super strong. Not the strongest, but they're way up there on the list. Okay, and then we have the druid, finally. My favorite of the bunch. Not the best, but my favorite. I am most likely going to play Feral Guardian Druid in Warlords of Draenor as my main spec. I'm going to raid on him at least. So I'm really enjoying it. They fixed a lot of the quality of life issues with druids, with combo points and things like that. It was painful to play. In my opinion, I really don't like the mop feral druid. I don't like it at all, and that's why I haven't been playing. But, well, I have because I'm trying to gear it up, but I don't like the way that it feels in mop, and they've made it so much better in Warlords of Draenor. So if you do play feral now, and you used to play feral in the old days, I think you're gonna like the changes. Now there are some issues right now with the Guardian Druids. Rage generation has been nerfed crazily, and I have a feeling they're gonna adjust it at least a little bit, because active mitigation seems more like you're better off using Frenzy Rejuve every single time rather than waiting and wasting 60 energy or 60 rage on your Savage Defense, your dodge. And also the armor is lower than Death Knight, which is kind of weird because Death Knights have parry and you don't as a druid, so you should have more armor. You do have more health, obviously. But anyway, Feral is good. Now let's go over the numbers really quickly, and I'm going to put these all down in the description so you can just look at them. You don't have to pause the video or anything like that. But I do want to go over a quick list of my opinions on the best tanks in order. Okay, here's the bottom line. There is no worst tank. They're all okay. Some are better than others, but there is no worst. Paladins, worst DPS, worst self-sustain because it's RNG, but they still are good tanks. They still have some raid utility, and worst case, you can Bubble Hearth. Brewmasters, really good DPS, really good healing. I really hate that they removed Clash. It just doesn't feel right, but they are solid tanks, and they don't take all that much damage because you can control it with your Purifying Brew. Guardian Druids had the highest DPS, the highest HP, the highest self-healing, well, not the highest mobility, but very good, plus a raid buff. They also took the most damage. Yep. So there's a trade-off there. They take a little more damage. However, there's some tweaking to be done. Very good tanks. Blood DKs, really good healing. Really good healing. Did I mention that? Really good DPS as well. They took the second most damage, and their mobility is kind of meh. Yeah, at least you got grips. So no, there isn't a worse tank, but there absolutely is a best tank, and it is Protection Warriors. They took the lowest amount of damage. They have the best active mitigation, really good DPS, great mobility, and the only downside is they have the lowest HP, period. But anyway, take it for what it is. All the numbers will be down below in the description so you can see them for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, say hello on my Facebook. This is Eatmopie. I'll see ya.